A big hello to everyone present in this room today. Imaginovation felt amusing to me. Imaginovation felt amusing to me. Guhaprahan, a grade 5 student, when I heard it from my teacher for the very first time. This 13-lettered word has such a deep meaning, is probably a billion perspectives. Imagination, that human habit, it allows us to dream, visualize, create mental images and ideas that do not exist in the physical world yet. This is a spark that lets up innovation. Innovation, on the other hand, is about turning those fantastic ideas into reality. For a moment, let's just imagine. Imagine if your smartphones were taken away from you. Imagine if the fuel tanks of your vehicles could never be refilled ever again. Imagine if the last tree on this planet was getting cut. Imagine if there's only one bottle of water available for use in a day. Imagine if there was no more food left for us to eat. Imagine if we had to go in search of oxygen to breathe freshness. Imagine what if such a time comes. Scary thoughts, isn't it? Oh, negative vibes, as commonly said. But the truth is, the day isn't far as generations ahead are gearing up to avoid a world as I quoted earlier. The day isn't far. Ever since human civilization started on this planet, we humans have been in search of food, water, and shelter. And in the process, we have been inventing, innovating, discovering, and living lives in the best possible ways. Life then might feel like risk takers living in a community. But they were thinkers. Yes, thinkers who could imagine, create, visualize, innovate, and bless us with the world we have been enjoying around us today. In the early days, when it all started by inventing a shadow, pulley, and animal carts, has now transformed into a world filled with technological advancements and artificial intelligence, where anything could happen over a click of a button. This world for the future generations must be a better place for one and all to live in. Let's just imagine that, because it's now time for a huge transformation. If man can imagine AI tools and adopt AI to use instead of his brain, he or she could reimagine the entire world and its population, living by the principles of sustainability. Like the pollution caused from the automobiles. There are automotive industries that have transformed one huge aspect of pollution into a more sustainable solution of using electric cars or scooters. Likewise, there are many other well-known companies and organizations that campaign for sustainability, thus being a driver of change through its advocacy and activism. Sustainability isn't a need of the hour. It revolves around the three principles of reuse, reduce, and recycle. There are practices being followed by people across the globe to ensure a brighter future for all of us. This is a consequence of imagination. All of these initiatives driven by imagination that led to innovation. After all, making the impossible things possible is the victory card. The greatest scientist Albert Einstein, who gave the world the theory of relativity, once rightly said that imagination is more important than knowledge. This is the mantra by which we have lived in our primary years. We laugh, play, understand, imagine, and innovate as we learn about the world through the process of inquiry. With a bucket of Lego in our hands, one can tell any story. Other can build a plane, or a pirate ship, or even a dragon. It's based on whatever one can imagine. It's these little plays that open the doors to imagination, which eventually leads to innovation. But here, we all need to understand one common and basic fact, that no act of imagination is superior to the other. Now, let's try doing this. When I tell the color yellow, what comes in your mind? Huh? Well, it may be lemons, or mangoes, or bananas, or the sun, or the sunflower, or even an egg yolk. It may remind you of a dress you're planning to wear for your next birthday party, or may it be the dress you're wearing on right now. If you're a person who could draw what you visualized, you're an artist. If you're a person who could write what you visualized, you're an author. And if you want to carry your imagination further, you could end up making a short film named Yellow. Like I said, the possibilities are endless. And imagination is not about what you think, but a reflection on how you think, and that makes a difference. Now, the point here is that regardless of age, one can take up any of these activities to boost your imagination. You could either tell a story or read a story, play or seek adventure, doodle or scribble, meditate or take a walk, daydream or even get bored. Sometimes it's the littlest things that reach the biggest outcomes. Like, how many of us here know which is the first online food delivery that has ever happened? Huh? Well, it was a pizza in the year 1994 through a website called waiter.com, which was originally serviced in North California. Now, this simple act of a food delivery has transformed into a global industry and a need in every household. Now, just imagine the profit the food industry would be making right now. Well, you see, I am a writer. I love to express myself through my writing, especially poems. Poetry is a form of creative and artistic expression, and it builds my capacity to innovate. For example, when I write a poem, I think of metaphors that involve drawing connection between seemingly related things. This, in turn, prepares me to draw connection between seemingly unrelated things, which is the cornerstone of innovation. I try hard to express myself, playing with word choices and language, in order to communicate my thoughts with clarity to my readers. After all, well communicated ideas and thoughts are more likely to gain support and drive innovation forward. I take inspiration from a lot of other poems, like William Wordsworth's Daffodils, or Emily Dickinson's Hope, or Robert Frost's Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening. These poems have been my all-time favorites. Poetry makes an attempt to inspire, encourage reflection, and motivate individuals to take action. It's these inspired actions that lead to innovative solutions and creative projects. Hence, I place my point that using imagination in my poetry is sowing the seeds of innovation in me. As children, every smallest act of drawing, writing, singing, dancing, acting, mimicking are all an outcome of their imagination. When we combine imaginative thinking with innovation, we can unlock solutions to many different problems. We can be the voices that the world needs to hear and the innovator of ideas that will blossom on this planet. We all have the potential to imaginate. So I want you to use your hands, just both your hands, to create happiness around you. This is how I would use mine. Imagination is a universal concept. It can be applied in any field, whether it may be healthcare, work, education, business, technology, and anywhere you want it. It can help you solve your everyday problems. Well, you see, I had a problem, a little serious problem. I'm sure that most of you in this room will be able to empathize with me. I had a problem with chapatis. I did not relish, and I refused to eat this flat Indian bread. This became a problem for my mother. It became quite the challenge for her. And that's when the power of imagination pitched in. She turned those boring chapatis look like, taste like, and feel like instant noodles. Long, stringy, and yummy. Now, my message for you is that in life, we all have problems and difficulties. But if we take a moment to think and find a way to act, problem solved, we become imaginators. See? Simple. Imagination can help leaders make societal progress, envision the future, build the courage to do it, and inspire others. It can transform the education system, fostering creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving skills in students. It can equip children to shape the future by eradicating problems like poverty, inequality, injustice, pollution, crime, and many more. It provides businessmen with a global market and adapt to changing the business as circumstances change, and a lot more. The main idea behind imagination is that no challenge is too great, no problem too complex. It's about looking at the world's most pressing issues with a bright face and a fresh mind. It's about daring to question and envisioning a future where the problem ends. It's about waking up that childlike wonder that lies within all of us and use it as a scratch of innovation. Consider the extraordinary inventions and innovations of our time, whether it may be the life saving medicines, or the creation of renewable energy, or even AI. All of these breakthroughs were a simple yet profound act of imagination. Someone somewhere, dare to dream all these breakthroughs. Although we get all these brilliant ideas, some get stuck in the realm of daydreams, never making their way into the world of reality. Why does this happen? One reason is that we always underestimate the power of our imagination and dismiss ideas thinking they're too wild, too absurd, and too impractical. But history has proved us that some of the most wild, absurd, radical, and impractical ideas have led to shocking innovations. So, let your dreams be your wings and let your imaginations have no limits. Have fun being Imaginovators. Thank you.